Hey everybody, this is Rydo, and we are back for an emergency addendum Hearthstone. That is right, I pronounced it somewhat correctly this time. Hearth, H-E-A-R-T-H, Stone. I am now going to go back to um, calling it Hearthstone because that's just easier for me. We are doing an emergency recording here because there's been a slight patch in between the 3-day break I was going to take to Hearthstone, and they have done a pre-launch event for the Goblins and Gnome expansion, and they have changed Gadgets and Auctioneer. They have also changed 2 other cards. They were all slight changes. They went up in 1 mana cost, so just basically they thought they were overpowered. But as part of this pre-launch event, we will notice I have a blue Solo Adventures item coming up, and then I have this electric thing coming up on the arena. I must start off apologizing, not for the previous episode, but for not starting recording every single time I open this program. Because when I first opened it, there was a nice big sign that said Goblins and Gnomes, and there was a free entrance to the arena. So I hope people played during this pre-launch event and got their free entrance to the arena like I did. So we're gonna play arena for free, and then we're gonna let's check out what the solo adventures are. Well, what is being highlighted here is a blue.
You are too late.
So that was Nexaramus talking to you. He makes comments when you play Nexaramus every now and then. I've got this blue thing on these class challenges. What is new? Is the question. All these have a check mark from them. Let's see. I've done all these challenges. Maybe at some point, if I just feel like playing things over again, I'll come back and do them again. There's no real reason to do that. I figured out how to scroll. The scroll bar is actually here on the other side. I had a problem with that on the previous recording. And we have these heroic challenges. Have not beaten any of them. Do not expect to beat any of them. They don't give you anything. So what's the point? They don't help you anyway. Maybe there's something here under the practice. See, normal. No, that'll just take you into a regular practice game. Or an expert. Nope, that'll just take you to this. So, maybe their patch is not exactly perfect yet. Maybe it's going to be some new solo adventures and they just haven't shown it yet. I really only launched this to double check that I had only the 1 quest unlocked. I just wanted to make sure my timing was right. So, the only quest we have is 2 wins with Paladin and Warrior. We have a free entrance to the arena. The playing in the arena in this pre-launch event is going to let you see the new cards, so hopefully we'll get some opportunities to see some of the new cards and learn it. So Paladin or Warrior was the 2 options. They're giving me 3 options here: Shaman, Hunter, and Warrior. So there's no reason not to play as a Warrior.
None are stronger than I.
Will that be a good choice with the Goblins and Gnomes creatures? I don't know. But let's go ahead. Since this is a special addendum thing, I think I'll even push this recording out of order. So if you're wondering what happened to in between previous episodes and such, At this point, I think there'll be 4, maybe 3 recordings that are released after this that actually were recorded before this. So I'm gonna push this out as a special next episode number and just explain right here, right now, what's going on, why things are gonna look a little different. I'll title it emergency pre-launch thing. I'll push it out as soon as it's done recording. But for this event, we're gonna just pick all goblins and gnomes, even though we're gonna throw caution to the wind. We know this one takes control of a random enemy secret. That is interesting. No card has done that before. Let's go ahead with our classic card there. I'm gonna try and be a little faster on this too. Give each player a spare part. We have no idea what spare parts are, but we're gonna do it. Someone's with a death rattle. I guess we'll take that one. 50% a chance to attack the wrong enemy. Interesting card. That would be hard to emulate that card in the real world. You'd have to flip a coin. Deal 2 damage to a million if it survives. Doesn't matter. We're going to take the Goblins and Gnomes cards. This one actually looks like a goblin, but it was in the game already. But let's see. Deal 3 damage to a random enemy split between all other characters. Now we need to play with a little logic. Let's get a taunt guy in there. Let's get the raid leader in there. 50% chance to do the wrong thing. Deal 6 randomly split between the other characters. This is not that other character we had seen. This one is new. So we're gonna play it. We have 2 new ones here and the Wisp. We're gonna even ignore the Wisp, and I love the Wisp. Whenever your opponent casts a spell, gain 2 attack. Summon a random 2 cost minions doing death rattle. Let's go ahead and take that one. This is a pirate one. No. Deal 4 damage if you have 12 or less. Deal 6 instead. Interesting. Taunt cannot be targeted by spells or heroes' powers. Shield Maiden. Have not seen this card. Looks like it's new. Battle card gain 5. Whenever you gain armor, give this one plus attack. Now, with this guy's ability, this one is actually a very good card to have. We might end up building a deck just for a hunter using some of these things. Gnomish Infantry, Charge, and Taunt. I think this one's new too. It's just a 4/5/4 beast, doesn't do anything else. Deal 1 damage to a minion and give it 2 attacks. Deal 1 damage on the death rattle whenever it takes damage to the card. We'll take this. Take this one again. We're just gonna take this one, even though I would love Zombie Chow. We are building what could possibly be a terrible deck. But hey, it's a free entry into the arena to try out the new cards. We're gonna do the best we can do. I don't know if I've seen Battle Rage before. Draw a card for each damage friendly character. We're gonna take it. I haven't seen that card before. Here's another one that looks like a goblin or gnome. It was in the game before. See, deal 1 damage to all minions. I'm gonna take that because it synergizes with the last card we drew. Whenever you gain armor, do 1+1 attack. Add a spare part card to your hand. What are spare part cards? We have no idea. This one has Wind Fury, can attack twice. This one is spare parts. Let's take the Wind Fury. I think we already got one of those. Take the Wind Fury again. Let's take this weapon. very high on the 3 things. All these are old cards. We'll take the taunt. Destroy a damaged enemy minion. Explosive sheep. Deal 2 damage to all other minions. Let's take that. That's new. All of these are old. Let's see. Taunt, Death Rattle, deal 1 damage to all other minions. Let's take this guy just because we want to have at least 1/7. Take this guy. This looks new. 50% chance to attack the wrong enemy. Or this guy with a Divine Shield. I'm going to take the Force Tanks Max. 877 Divine Shield. Wow. Another Fire Axe. Okay, so this one's old, this one's old. We're gonna take this. We've got our 30 cards. Notice here, unlike the last time where I used more duplicates, this deck is scrolling down more. How many wins will we get? We want 2 wins, and that will get us the quest. That'll give me another day and keep us in line with having the breaks and recordings and such. But if we don't get 2 wins, not a big deal. Let's just play these cards, see them, figure them out a little bit. Celebrate this pre-launch event. It's all free, so if I get only 20 gold out of the whole thing, I have more than 20 gold, I have gained 20 gold. Okay, so I jumped in this recording so fast I didn't even turn off any fans or adjust any audio. Let me quickly do that. So hopefully that all works. Probably still will be popping. Not going to take any of these cards at the moment. Hopefully you could gonna trade all these cards. We need something to start with.
Job's done.
Slightly pulled out the microphone just a second ago. I hope that did not mess up the recording. Hopefully you can still hear me. I guess I'll just have to go forward assuming that you can, because there's really little I could do. I'll take a quick pause after this game and double check after this one game. But we'll just go with it for this. Draw a card for each damage friendly character. Well, I don't have any of those, so we'll just do it. He's playing, after each time he casts a spell, he'll do 1 damage. Really means he can only cast 2 spells and then he kills himself. Because it doesn't exclude him. Let's see.
Job's done.
We're gonna hear all new sounds for every character. So, that at the very least, the expansion will give us more random sounds to listen to.
Handle it!
Stay on target! Stay on target! Battle detected.
Job's done.
It says enrage. Yeah. For a second there I thought that said engage. It says enrage. Like a Jean-Luc Picard, engage #1. Although, I don't think #1 never engaged. Poor #1, he really didn't have any buttons to push.
For the king!
I guess at some point I may talk about what I had hoped they had done with Star Trek before they did the reboot movies. But I think I won't get into that today. We call that a tease in the business. But I have some thoughts on some great things to do for several series, but frankly, if I put them out there, the problem is
Battle
that
commencing.
as soon as somebody says any proposed like spec script for any series, when you put it out in the public, the one thing that the companies that own the license to those shows cannot do is then make anything anywhere close to it. So by talking about what you would want to see in a series, like say the next Star Wars, that's a big thing right now. If somebody's talked about what they really wanted in a lot of detail, then that potentially could cause Star Wars, which is in production now, to have to change, or at the very least create evidence that it had the idea first and never heard of you. And they have to be very careful. There's a lot of stuff that goes on where people who are less than completely mentally sound think they had the idea for things, and they really didn't.
I got this.
And there is some stealing, quite frankly. So if your idea does get out there, it very well might get stolen. And you may think at first, oh, I'm fine with that as long as it gets made. But most people aren't fine with that. When you go see the box office returns and you hear that a movie made $67 million and you got nothing and it was all your idea, or if you feel like it was all your idea, even if that's not true, you're gonna think a little differently about it at that point. So if I have less than 12, I'll do 6 damage. Let's see. Whenever you gain armor, this one gains. Oops. So let's get in here and see if this siege engine really
I got
works.
this.
Job's done.
Draw a card for each damage defending minion. Well, that's a shame. I really wanted to do some more with this because this guy could really get strong really fast with hunting. Just every turn, another 2 armor,
The light
another
does
1
not
attack.
discriminate.
The light does not discriminate. Interesting intro. Let's see. Still not down to 12. Let's draw a card for that. Huh, I wonder why it gave me 2 cards. Maybe give me 1 for the hero being. Deal 1 to all minions. No, I don't want to do that at the moment. Put this guy up there. We want to.
For the gnomes!
For
I
the
got
gnome.
this.
Job's done.
So, here you have 2 gnome audio cues that are direct comedic interpretations or homages to other cards that we've heard in previous playings. Seems like it. I would have bet that it was going to be a comedy update. That sounds like a new audio thing too. Mad Bomber is not new, but it sounds new, like new audio to me. One more damage. and I can do 6 damage to him, which will be great, but I still need to really bring this up. Let's see.
I got this.
So we attack with this, it activates the freezing trap, sends him back. Actually, that was actually quite nice of them to do that for me. That is going to make it a lot easier. So next turn, I will have 10, and this, I believe, will still cost 4. So I'll throw this out, and then I'll put this in the middle, and give both sides taunt. They did me a favor with the freezing trap on that. They don't realize they did, but they did.
Join or die, or both.
It's a shame I can't get this one out quite yet, but
Shield
that's alright. They are probably right about now realizing the error of their ways.
Job's done.
Next turn, I'll throw this out and give myself 2 armor. No new side art, at least on this game. This is a standard side panel art. Maybe they will add one, maybe they won't, maybe it's ready yet, not ready yet. I wouldn't rule it out to have one, but these are randomized as far as I can tell. So, who knows what makes you pick one side thing versus another side thing. Lost my Wind Fury, which is a
Job's
shame.
done.
I have less than 12 now, so if I can get him down to 6 next turn, which I could easily see doing, we should be able to do the Mortal Strike and win the game.
I let the dogs out.
Did he say I let the dogs out? I do believe. That sounds like a new audio too. Maybe I haven't been paying enough attention to these things. Who knows? Let's see. So, with this guy gone, I get a spare part. What I got was a rusty horn. Seems like he gave an item to that, to the other guy. What was that? Give each player a spare part. Interesting. Well, I'm not going to draw this out anymore. In this game, Goblins and Gnomes so far are working good for us. It is very sweet to get a victory at the very beginning on your run. Only need one more to be done with the quest. Can we get another win? I think we can. 1 second while I check the recording. Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3. Can you hear me? Yes, yes, the recording looks good. Hopefully you didn't record me recording the recording of the recording, because that would create an endless loop that would probably destroy the universe. So let's hope that didn't happen. Jump into the next fight. I'm feeling good. Goblins and Gnomes for the win. You know, when you see people text things and it's like FTW, well, that can mean one of two things. And when you see something written down, you want it to only mean one thing.
Victory or death!
Okay, so I can already see in the background a new plaything through. We're gonna go through this as best I can and just play the clicky click game. We're gonna see all kinds of stuff we can do with this new side art. Well, it's not our turn, so let's see. Looks like I can turn this thing. Go ahead, take it 1 damage.
Job's done.
That was a waste, it didn't do any damage to the face, I thought it would. Looks like a button. Levers. That gave me a plant, let's see what happens with it now. That gave me like a bomb. This looks like it will go off if... Alright, let's see. Well, let's go ahead and put this out there.
Job's done.
Got a little bomb here. Oh, sorry, still my turn. Gotta remember that. Laser here. Yep. Looks like maybe we can set this on fire, shoot off some fireworks. Maybe, maybe not. Anywho. Playing the clicky click game, not focusing on the rest of the game and ending my turn. But this is exciting. I'm not sure if they are seeing the same side art as me. They are certainly seeing it turned around so it doesn't it faces them. But that's about it. I don't know if they're watching. Death Rattle deals 2 damage to everybody. Let's see. Let's go ahead and deal this out, and attack with this.
Job's done.
So by attacking this guy, he will kill this guy also, but I'm just letting him have it. I'm too busy playing with this. There's probably more hidden ones. I don't think I've even found all the hidden things in the regular ones, but usually there's at least a couple things hidden about. Let's see. I'm gonna want to, let's see, this guy and this guy. What is his? Give each player a spare part. We've seen him. Not sure what the whole range of spare parts are. Seems to be, there's the little kite. It's bringing other elements from the game. A boot. Let's see. Well, we'll put this down. Put this. Next turn we play him, and then we give ourselves some more armor. Still have 6 armor. What is he doing? I'm not even paying attention. I'm playing the clicky click. Give a minion taunt. Yay. If this was turn 9, I'd bring him out. I think I'll keep these cards just for that. Well, I could bring him out. 1 attack for each armor. Let's see. We're gonna do this. 50% chance to attack the wrong enemy. I need to test this with the taunt. I need to bring this guy out and see if I tell him to attack this, there's a 50% chance he'll attack one of these guys. That would be very interesting. That might be a way to get away around taunts. Because if he attacks the wrong enemy, well, I can't do anything about it. The explanation is you have to target the guy with taunt. That doesn't mean you have to hit the guy with taunt. if I recall the explanation. Enemies must attack this minion. That's what it's being explained as. No. Down to 19. Let's.
Clobbering time.
Job's done.
Up to 7-5. Got some more armor. Please. Goblin Auto Barber. Give your weapon +1 attack. That's a good card to match with a rogue deck. Interesting. They sent back the guy.
I can fix anything.
Has 2 attack when +2 attack when you have a mech. Those are mechs here. This guy's a mech. Mech. These are the gnomes side of things. Gnomes do the working on technology stuff. Goblins do the magical stuff. As far as I understand it in my own personal head.
Job's done.
Take that. So there you go. You wanna attack again, you've gotta attack something with divine. Oh my goodness. Talk about suck. Talk about suck. He played well. Probably shouldn't have played with the environment as much. I don't think we'll get another new environment. Maybe we will. I mean, that looked like the gnomes, so maybe we'll get a goblins environment. It's possible. In my own mental lore, I would say goblins are more mischievous, akin to like gremlins. We're back to one of the standard back things. So, we want some good starter cards. That was one loss. We've got 2 more losses to go before we're out of this free run in the arena run on this special emergency pre-launch Gnomes vs. Goblins expansion. I don't know why I'm hyping this up as much as I am. It's not like most people are gonna even care. But hey, why not do it? Let's have fun with it. So let's do our best impression of a news announcer or a sports announcer, and just hype.
Mind if I roll need?
And I bet at WrestleMania the Gnomes will take down the Goblins. That's a subtle reference to WW. Was it E now? I'm so old. I remember when WWF didn't stand for World Wildlife Foundation. That's why they changed the name to WWE and did a quick Photoshop edit of their logo and take the F off and just say WW for what seemed like at least a couple years. Still using the same logo. They just edited in Photoshop it a little bit. Didn't want to spend any money on it. We didn't get to see this guy actually attack. I don't know how he's gonna miss the face when I tell him to hit the face, but I mean, maybe he'll attack an enemy. Could be deadly if he... See, draw a card for each friendly guys is dead, so... Let's bring this guy out. At the very least, if he attacks this guy, he'll kill him.
Smash you.
Now it's calculating. Notice it's a little slow here, too. I told it to hit the face. Is that gonna crash the server right now? Is the server so stressed on this event that a 50-50 chance? I mean, Looks like I'm disconnected for the game. Let's see if it can reconnect. Wow. Definitely pre-launch. Definitely pre-launch.
I wonder.
I'm gonna, if I get disconnected, try and immediately relaunch it before I stop the recording. The screen may go black. This whole recording may get tossed in the can because of it. Maybe I'll edit it out. If we completely lose connection, we might be in trouble. Nope, actually this is part of my network setup's fault that I lost connection. So,
What now?
I want to formally say it was not because of anything that they did. It was 100% my fault that I lost connection there. I have a network setup that is designed to reset at a specific time each evening. I started this recording a little late and ran into that problem. So, let me just check the recording. We are back. That's right, it is Hearth. I know it's Hearth, I just call it Hearth. So we lost that game, my fault. Actually, I don't think I really lost it. I think they were being nice here and not blaming me for it. Often, if you lose connection, you will lose the game because of that. So, didn't even count. Great. That was my fault. That's my network setup. I should not be recording around this time. It is actually rather late for me to be recording. I was just going to go to sleep when I saw this and decided that it was important enough to do an emergency recording. Lots of trouble. Well, we haven't had a lot of trouble. We've had one victory, so whatever trouble we've had was worth that one victory. We're getting to play new cards a couple days earlier than what they said they were gonna, when they were gonna come out. A charged taunt that's 1/4 and is 3 mana. This feels a little overpowered. I'm not sure if it really is, but it feels that way.
For the gnomes!
Job's done.
Definitely feels a little overpowered. Second turn, if you're the second player, you can play the coin and put out a taunt creature, a 1/4 taunt creature with charge. One of those is too much. I'm gonna hold this one in reserve until they have a secret. I want to see that work. We still want to see what this guy work. My speculation was wrong before. We did not lose service because of anything they did. That was my fault. I apologize.
For the gnomes!
Most of the network stuff is their fault. This one time, it's mine. My network is set up to automatically reset at a certain time each day, and the reason it does that is because the RAM of the router gets full up of information and will slow down.
Taste the mana.
So by rebooting, it purges their routing table list and just restarts for a fresh thing. It's sad that a lot of devices these days just cannot run forever, but that's just kind of how it is. It's the old Windows reboot problem of You always gotta install updates, you always gotta reboot. All kinds of stuff like that. So 50% chance of hitting the wrong guy. Did not hit the wrong guy that time.
For the gnomes!
Just go ahead and get rid of this. Just keep it control. Doing 3 more damage to the face isn't gonna change it significantly. Next turn we'll have 5. I don't know what we'll do.
Pass me that arc light spanner!
So here's one of the inspirations of the gnomes. Has to be, is you have the gnomish inventor. He's been in the game for as long as I've been playing, and so I feel like they were inspired by that to make 120 more new cards.
Me smash you. Wait.
There you go. There you see the 50% chance. Hit the wrong guy. Not a big problem that time. Pretty much if you hit any guy, you're still pretty good with a 4-4. But it certainly could ruin a specific strategy you're trying to do. You won't have anybody to kill this Wind Fury, this 1/4 Wind Fury. I'll do 2 damage to the face.
You shall not pass.
Let's see, let's put this guy out.
Me
Go ahead.
smash you.
Attack here. Could have hit the other one and actually done damage. Let's see. Now this one's gonna deal 2 damage to all enemies. Is that worth it? No, I don't think it is. I could do 2 damage now.
What now?
I think I do. I think I want to.
Stay on target! They came from behind!
They came from behind. Come on, put a secret up here so I can steal.
You call that a weapon?
Just throw that out there. Still no secret. Still want to use that in reserve. Let's see. We can attack there. We
Me
can
smash you.
attack the face, see if this attacks this guy instead. That's what I thought was gonna happen.
That minion already attacked.
For the gnomes!
Already attacked twice, must have. Gives them a ball.
Job's done.
Next turn I'll be 8. Pull out this 8/7/7 with the Divine Shield. I don't think this is overpowered, but it is powered. The Force Tank Max. I would like to see what some of the higher ranked
What you
gyms are,
want?
and it might be interesting when we get our pack from playing this, assuming we do get a pack. Assuming we get anything from this, which I think we do. It'll be interesting, since this is a pre-launch event, whether we will see any gnomes or goblins in the actual packs. From what I've seen, there's not been any guarantee of that at all. It is just said you could play these guys in the arena. That looks a little crazy what I just did there, but I want to protect this divine
done.
shield. And if I hadn't killed them, they would have gone in here and killed their guy just to get rid of the divine shield. If I can get below 12, I will do 6 damage. He's at 12 already. So
You have been.
he's not even going to take it any further. He's just that is nice. We have done the quest. That gives me 3 more days in which I can hold off on playing more Hearthstone. Although, with this pre-launch event, I'm going to have to come back every day, and there may just be a whole run of recordings where we do pre-launch event recordings on Hearthstone. I'll come back every day. I'll be recording when I first open it, and we'll see if something else happens. Maybe they're trying to do like a, 25 days of Xmas type thing. I don't know. They did not seem to indicate they were going to do even this at all. I was playing this just a day ago, I believe, and nothing came up at all that indicated they were going to do any pre-launch event. It was all a big surprise to me. I don't think I particularly like this explosive sheep. Let's see, rage plus 1 effect.
Job's done.
It's a little high. I think it's probably balanced. A 2 mana, 1/1 that does 2 damage to everything on Death Rattle. I don't know. I don't know, maybe I'd feel better about it if it was a 1/1, 1 mana. It's just hard to figure out.
Battle commencing.
Job's done.
Maybe that's fair. Maybe it should be a 0/1 or a 0/2 for 2 mana. I think I'd feel better if it was a 0/2. Really. I think that'd be more balanced.
Job's done.
Like 2 mana, 0/2, 0 attack, 2 life, deals 2 damage when on the deck. I think that would feel better. I don't know why I think I have any particular reason why I should have a better say than the creators. I'm just giving my opinion there. Oh, I am slightly a somewhat more learned card player than most. So I guess my opinion probably should count for something. Let's see. Do 1 damage this way. Do 2 damage this way. Do 2 armor this way.
Job's done.
He's down to 4 health. If I attack him, he'll be down to 3. So I need to do 1 more damage somehow. Have not seen that card that steals secrets succeed yet. We're at 6, so I could do Wind Fury this way, or I could save this card for the next turn. Could do this and get that, but let's go and do this. Getting below 12 is kind of a goal on our health. It sounds silly to do that, but I do have that card that does 6 damage when you're below 12. And 12 is just approaching the borderline of dangerous on your health level. If you're in control of the situation, you get down to 12, you're fine. If you're not in control, then you're in trouble. Gonna try and do 2 armor every turn. He gets +1 attack when I gain any armor, so it's not like I get 2 armor and he gets +2 attack. What's that card? Is that add a random minion to the hand that costs 3 less. Unstable border. Let's see. Iron Sensei. At the end of the turn, you gain 2. Give another mech +2/+2. Mechs cost 1 more less. He has got some cards. So he's been playing this probably a little bit more than I have. Because he's got some cards going. Let's throw this out there. Let's throw this out there. We have the 7. This guy is going to give me 2 more if I don't take him out now. So. Whenever I summon a minion with Death Rattle, is he going to be able to kill this guy? Probably. We have the zombie chow here that will give me 5 back. He's doing quite a lot to get rid of my guys. Quite a lot. Divine Shield. Guys with Death Strike. Get next card is get below 12, do 6 damage. Can do 8 damage, maybe if I can get through this guy. As long as I have Divine Shield, I can just attack this guy and not take any damage, which is nice. This one's a 4/4/3. Can't make it out. That looks like a 4. Maybe they're gonna surrender too. Maybe we're gonna just have an incredible run of people surrendering. I don't think so. He played his mech strategy pretty well. Any minion damaged by this minion dies. Divine Shield will protect me from him as long as I have it. So, throw this guy out. Do this. He can now kill this guy with this creature. That's a shame. Maybe this one's more scary. This guy's just a little annoying. At the start of your turn, do 2 damage to a random enemy. He's more annoying than actually useful. Interesting, he made the choice to go against the other guy who is more scary. Now they're again working. A salty dog. It's a pirate, but it looks like a gnome. I guess they wanted to throw some more pirate cards in there. I didn't think they had a ton of them for those pirate expansions, so they figure this looks new to me. I think they threw it in to just overall expand. Hopefully they can feel free enough to throw some more mage cards in and throw some more hunter cards in too. Just expand the card base on all sides with every expansion. Just because an expansion is named Gnomes and Goblins, there's no reason you can't give 5 new cards for every year. Make it a little bit more interesting. As long as the card is interesting. You don't want to get into the Magic the Gathering scenario where they would ban certain cards and then come out with the exact same card, but it had different animations, and that was it.
Job's done.
A different name. Because Magic got very heavily into that. Where a couple seasons would go by, the old cards by just standard default because they were too old, weren't allowed in tournament play. And then they'd come out with the exact same card with a different name and a different a picture, but it didn't reflect it. Hearthstone doesn't need it. We don't need two creatures that freeze a character when it's attacked. We've got one that does that. Everybody knows that that's what this guy does, and that's what this guy looks like. We don't need to add another one that does the same thing. These gnomes and goblins have not been doing that. They've been adding more rules. They're going in the direction I said I wanted them to go into, the crazy Yu-Gi-Oh direction. Not heavily have they gone in that yet, but there is new stuff happening.
It's time for a little blood.
I've lost it. I've enjoyed losing this game though. Just playing with the new cards has made me happy enough to not even really be upset about losing it. When did I lose the second loss? I thought this was the second loss. Well, anyways, maybe they came back and recorded that disconnect that was totally my fault. So, it would be only fair if they did that. Let's see what we got. We've gotten 2 boxes here, 40 dust, and a pack. So, we got paid nothing to play that. Let's click on the arena. We're back to the old arena. We have to pay 150 gold. Will that arena run count as the next recording I was going to do was going to be an arena run? Maybe, maybe not. We'll see how I feel in 3 days real time, 0 days in your viewing time. We'll see if I feel like doing an arena. We'll see what the 3 quests we've unlocked at that point are. Let's open our pack and see if we get any goblins and gnomes cards. If we get goblins and gnomes cards here, that is almost a complete guarantee there won't be 2 different types of packs you can buy. Notice the little ooze is flowing up and down on the animation here. That's cool. That's a regular card. I think that's been in the game. That's been in the game. And that's been in the game. I think I probably needed one of these though, so I'm kind of happy to get that one. Let's go in the collection here. The other way we might be able to prove that we can get Garden and Gnomes cards at the moment is we'll go into crafting, we'll find one of these new cards that we just saw and played with, and see if we can craft it. Because if we can craft it, it's probably on the same thing. So, they would more than likely be... Here's the disenchant extra card button. You can just click it. It tells you, understanding this is a little hard to understand. It's saying 3. There are 3 cards that I have that are over 2 copies. It says you can't have more than 2 copies in a deck or more than 1 of each legendary. So I didn't even explain or probably even know that on the legendary things. I don't have any legends. It's gonna disenchant 3, give you 15 dust. Just click it here and it does the little animation and you've got 85 dust. If I had 100 dust and we found a gnome card that we could create, that would be kind of cool. I could create this for 40. Let's go ahead and do that. Here's your animation on how you create a card. Do I need 2 copies of it? No, I don't. I want to unlock it just in case there is some kind of percentage chance. Looks like the update 2 has shown that you can create cards now are in light blue. Before in crafting mode, it did not make cards that you had enough dust to create in light blue. So, to explain, if it is dim like this, you have played with it or seen it, somebody play with it, but you don't own it. If it is solid, you own it. If it has a X2 below it, you have 2 copies of it. If it's X3, well, you need to disenchant that extra card and get some dust back. Here is a legendary card, Harrison Jones and Leroy Jenkins. These are, you'll have a lot of fun when you first see these cards played. That Harrison Jones, of course, is just a comedic versioning of Indiana Jones. And Leroy Jenkins, I think, is an internet video of a football player. Let's see. Well, you can click here and see the sets. It's on all sets now. They already have a tag here for Gnomes versus Goblins. Let's see. So you have the basic set, classic set, reward set, promo set, Nixramas set. Let's just go here and see what. Show me what the basic set is. I have none of that. You can craft. Of course you can't craft the basic set. Those are all the ones. You have the classic set. I have a lot of those. Reward set. I have none. Probably the reward set is things only given to people that get very high. We have a promo set here that is just 2 items. So 1600 legendary and 1600 legendary. Why these are promo sets, what I did to get them, I have no idea. Nixramas set. Nothing here to be found on the Nixramas set. Interesting. Let's see what happens when I include soulbound cards though. There you go. So let's go back and see what the reward set and promo set look like when you have soulbound cards included. No difference. Nixramas set, all of them soulbound cards. Some of them I have only one of, but you already knows by beating Nixramas. There are a couple here that maybe I could make another one. Soulbound, can't make any more. So, you only get one. Maybe I can go play the thing that I unlocked this and I'll get another one. I don't think so though. Alright. So here we go. Let us just hide the soulbound cards and see what they are. They're all soulbound at the moment. I bet a patch comes in and changes all that. Let's see. Can I move left? If I just touch the... No. Can't go left. So let's just make a quick overlook. Lots of cards we didn't see here. Target Dummy, 002, Clockwork Gnome, Cogmaster, Annoyatron. Interesting, it is another taunt. It is a 2 mana, 1 attack, 2 things. Just like that other creature, the Explosive Sheep. It feels a little powerful. All these feel a little too powerful. But, heck, they're new, so... And they want people to play with them. Maybe they'll come back and nerf them all. Or they'll add cards that say if it is a mech, it loses abilities. Or if it is a Micro Machine, at the start gain 1 attack. Mech Warper, mechs cost 1 less. We've only seen the mech class so far. Let's see. Puddle Stomper. It's a new Murloc. transform into a friendly minion into a random minion with the same class. That could be, the Recombobulator could be an amazing card. Whenever you summon a pirate, deal 2 damage. Whenever your opponent casts a spell, gain 1 attack. A 3 mana 1/4 with Wind Fury, that was a pretty good card. This one's another overpowered card, it feels like. Gnomish Experiment. Draw a card if it's a minion, transform it into a trick chicken. So, does that put the chicken on your side as an attack? Or does that just make it a chicken in your hand so it still costs like a mana to summon it? Interesting thought. Have +4 attack while your opponent has 6 or more cards in their hand. See, Hobgoblin. Whenever you play a 1 attack minion, give it 2/2. If you control a secret at your end of your turn, gain 4 health. Gain ++1 for each death rattle minion. So this one here, Little Exorcist, just how many cards that have death rattle are on your deck. You get +1 for each one of those. That could be a good synergizer with some stuff. There's 50% to attack wrong. If you have a mech, gain +1 and add a spare part to your hand. What are spare parts? Spare parts are 1-cost spells with minor effects. It explains that. Alright, so 1 mana card spells. Always going to be a spell, it's always going to be 1 mana. It has a minor effect, we don't know. It will just be some kind of random pool of special cards that you won't be able to craft or get any other way, I imagine. There have been cards that do things like that already, but they're expanding on that. Taunt can't be targeted. Whenever the opponent casts a spell, gain 2 attack. Let's see. Give your other minions Wind Fury, Taunt, or Divine Shields at random. This card could be amazing synergizer. There are cards out there where you could, if you just gave all 6 of your other guys Wind Fury, just this card alone would probably do massive amounts of damage. If you gave them all Taunt, you're gonna have some major defense. If you give them Divine Shields, it's pretty good defense still. At the end of each player, the player draws until they have 3 cards. That's new. We have had no cards so far that have had both players maintain a level of 3 cards. Could easily have people run out of cards fast. Take control of a secret. Totally new. We never got to play it. Nobody played a secret before they killed me. Give each player a spare part. We know that what those do. Stealth plus spell damage +1. This one will certainly go well in my mage deck. More spell +1s for less mana. I could replace 2 cards in my mage deck already with this guy. With 2 of those. Summon a random 2-cost minion. Could be good. Restore 8 health on the battle cry. Sure. Let's see. Equip a random weapon for each player. So both players get a random weapon. I wonder if it's the same weapon for each player or the different weapons for each player. Deal 4 damage to an enemy. That's nothing that special. Whenever your opponent plays a card, discard the top 3 cards of your deck. Destroy a beast. That would be great against the beast deck. Not very useful against any other decks. Whenever you have a friendly mech die, +2/+2. Mad Bomber here is a deal 6 randomly damaged on the battle cry versus another card that was just, well, the card before was called Mad Bomber. This is called Madder Bomber. And he does more damage. That's pretty cool. That's pretty funny. Mim Iron's Head. At the start of your turn, if you have at least 3 mechs, destroy them all and form the Voltron is what that is trying to allude to. So it's just gonna merge them into this creature. I bet the creature is like a 11 mana 11/11, if not higher. A Salty Dog is just a new pirate. interesting they throw in the pirate and it does nothing else. They just felt the need to give you some more pirates so you can have a more pirate deck. That, I don't think they put enough cards in the pirate update to explain, to fix that, to have an all pirate deck. So that's good they threw that in there. Let's see, whenever you cast a one spell, you add a random mech to your hand. All minions have 50% of a chance to attack their own enemy. So instead of just one guy having a 50% chance, it is every single minion on both sides. Just could make a huge mess of it while this guy's still on the field. Summon a random 4-cost minion. That seems a little overpowered. You're getting a 6 mana creature, 6/4, and then when it dies, it brings a 4-cost minion. This one has Battle Cry and Death Rattle. That is brand new. I've never seen a card that says Battle Cry and Death Rattle. So when you summon it, you get a spare part. When it dies, you get another one. That is ridiculous. Summon 2 Boom Bats. Warning, bots may explode. More than likely, those bots are going to be special summoned, and then they're going to say at the end of the term they blow up. Notice the name here is Dr. Boom. This is a Fantastic Four reference of Dr. Doom. He even kind of looks like him. Whenever your opponent casts a spell, summon a burly Rockjaw Trog. Whatever that is. Who knows what that will be. I bet it's a 1/1 creature or something like that. Also damages the minions next to whomever it attacks. That is really new. So, you have a 6/9 creature here that will do 6 damage to potentially 3 enemies. You just attack the guy in the middle, the guy on the left, the guy on the right, do 6 damage. Do they do the same damage back to him? Will he take massive amount of damage and die on his first attack? Or does he only take the battle damage from the guy in the middle he attacks? I don't know. I'd really like to see how that works. Alright, so Death Rattle, summon a random legendary minion. And whenever an enemy minion dies, summon a Leaper Gnome. And here we have a 12 mana, cost 1 less for each card in the opponent's hand. Of course, if it is above 10 mana, it has to have something that makes it cost less on the description. Well, it really doesn't have it to. I was thinking about this. You could have a plain 12 mana card where it just has no description or anything, and then you have to play some other combination of cards to make things cheaper enough that you can actually play them. Here, that would probably be like a 10/10 for 12. Alright, so those are the neutral cards. We've got, let's look at the Druid cards. We're seeing some new Druid cards. We're only looking at the Goblins and Gnomes set. So, you're going to get some new cards for each character, which is what I was hoping for. Let's see, Taunt, and then choose one -1, +1 attack, or +1 health. That's fine. Give each player a mana crystal, or each player draws a card. Almost the exact same thing. To give each player a mana crystal or draw a card, almost the exact same thing. If you have a beast, transform this into a 7/7. That could be really powerful. I'd want that in my Druid deck. Summon 5 Wisps, or give a minion +5/+5 and taunt. It's a lot of mana to do that, but that might be. Shuffle an enemy's minion into your opponent's deck. That's new. We have not had any card that puts cards back in the deck at all. Whenever you have this minion takes damage, add a spare part to your hand. So he has 6 health, he could easily give you 6 spare parts. And that new Death Rattle, shuffle it back in the deck. Restore all characters to full health. Let's see. The new attack weapon, it gives a random friendly minion +1 when it's summoned. Draws a card if it's a beast, it costs 4 less. That could be really good. Trigger all Death Rattles on your minions. Wow. If you're playing as a hunter, we're into the hunter section. It skipped. There was just one page. So it went from, sorry, we were in Druid, page 1. We're in the hunter section, page 2. So maybe they gave one full page for each character, and maybe it's just working out that way for 8 new cards. Trigger all death rattles. As a hunter, you could do a lot of damage with that. I mean, Stalag and Fugen alone. You get Stalag, you get Fugen out there, you trigger this, you're going to have 2 Thaddeus's right then and there. If you go and kill Stalag Fugen, you're going to have 3 Thaddeus's. That would be 3 11/11 creatures in probably 2 turns. See, hero power can target minions. Interesting. What is the hunter? The hunter's power is he does 2 to the hero and can only do 2 damage to the hero. Playing this lets you target minions. That could be useful. I don't think it would be super useful a lot of times, but it could be on occasion. Give your auto max plus 2 attack. Deal 3 damage to a minion or the enemy hero. Gain plus 1 attack for each beast you have. If you're playing a beast deck, that could be potentially 6. It could be an 8/6 if you have it full up. Whenever this minion takes damage, double its attack. This seems to indicate that means if you took 1 damage, it'd be 12. If you took 2 damage, it'd be 24. And it would just keep going and going and going. If you see this card, kill it fast. Alright, so we're into the mage thing. It looks like each character, base character, is gonna get its own page of just 8 new cards. That's fine. I mean, I'd like more, but I'm happy with even getting a little. Deal 4 damage to a random enemy minion. Probably wouldn't play that myself. Add a random minion to your hand, it costs 3 less. I might play that, I'd have to think about it. Freeze any character damaged by that minion. If you're playing a frozen deck, sure. Spell damage plus 1 definitely would go in my mage deck as soon as I got it. Put a copy of each friendly minion into your hand. Wow, that's new. So if you had one of several cards, say 7 minions up there, and then you play this, you would draw 7 cards that were the exact same copies of the minions you'd already summoned. How do you do that with like special summon Thaddeus's? Do I get a Thaddeus? How many mana does that cost? 0? Does it cost 11? Who knows? If you have a mech, deal 4 damage, randomly split among all enemies. So that's kind of like that 1 mana spell that does 4 damage randomly. Except for now, it's a battle cry. Adjacent minions can't be targeted by spells or hero powers. Oh, that could be useful. When you draw this, deal 2 damage to all characters. This is brand new. This is getting into that wilder Yu-Gi-Oh stuff. When you draw this is a whole new phrasing of the characters. That means, from what I'm getting from it, as soon as you draw it in your hand, you would have to, at least in the real world, show this card to the opponent and deal 2 damage. Now, in showing them, they know you have it, but that's a small price to pay. Let's look at the paladins now. Restore 4 health to your hero, gain plus 2 attack this turn. Typical paladin. Another divine shield. If you're playing a divine shield deck, that'll help. Give a friendly minion divine shield and taunt. That'd be a pretty good one. Summon 3 1/1 hand silver hand recruits and equip a 1/4 weapon. How is this just 3 mana? Wow. So for 3 mana you get 3 1/1. That sounds fair. But then also get a 1/4 weapon? That's not fair. It should be a 1/1 and like 2 1/1 recruits for 3 mana. That's OP. Deal 2 damage to all minions with death rattle. That's new. Targeting death rattle people with specific damage. Whenever a friendly minion dies, gain 1 attack. While this is in your hand, gain 1 attack. So, wait a minute. This card is in your hand, and whenever your minions die, you would then turn around and show this card to them, and your hero would gain +1 attack. That's the only thing I can understand. Maybe that I'm not interpreting that right. Maybe he just gets +1 attack in your hand, and then you can come out, say, if you've been waiting 10 turns with this guy in your hand, maybe you can pull him out for 5 mana, and he'll have, like, a 11 attack. Maybe that's what that means. I don't know. How can you even prove that? You would have to still show the card as soon as you got it in your hand, because you could lie so easily and say you had this card since the first turn when you really just drew it this turn, and then you would have to go backwards and count all that. Can't do that in the real game, but if this was ever going to be, you can't do it in the computerized version of this game, but if it was ever going to be a real game with real cards printed out, there would have to be rules to explain that a little bit better. I want to see this one in action. Whenever you summon a mech, gain Divine Shield. Wow. So you could gain Divine Shield, attack somebody, summon a new mech, gain it again. That could be very useful. Give your silver hand recruits +2/+2. So wait a minute, you play this and get 3 silver hand recruits. You play this and you give them +2/+2. So you would then have 3 threes and a 1/4 weapon for the low cost of 8 mana. Well, you can see a strategy being developed there. I don't think there's any other way to recruit those silver hand things. So we're on to the priest, about halfway through on the things. I did not realize that we were going to be able to go through the cards. So this may go a little longer than some of the other recordings, but this is special. I want to get it out fast. See, restore 3 health. If the target is still damaged, summon a Light Warden. Light Warden, I think, is not a Goblins and Gnomes deck card. So, we'll have to figure out what a Light Warden is when I replay that card. Whenever that would be. Deal 3 damage on the battle cry to each hero, both of them. Interesting. Whenever a character is healed, deal 1 damage to a random enemy. I could see how that would be useful in some of the current decks that are usually played with the priest. Give a minion +2 attack this turn, probably not that important. Give a minion +2/+4 and spell damage +1 for the low price of 3 mana. This is overpowered. Give a friendly mech +4 health. Battlecry swap health and with another minion. That could be interesting. Play that right, you can have very high health. Remember, this is for a priest deck that often have cards that will double the health. So if you have a creature that has potentially 24 health and you swap with them, and it seems like you get to pick. It's not saying a random minion, it says you get to pick. This one. Alright, here we go. Light Bomb is deal damage to each minion equal to its attack. Very interesting. That's a new way of doing it. So this guy has 6 attack, he would do 6 damage to himself. This guy has 5, he'd do 5 damage. This guy has 2, he'd do 2 damage. Lots of cards have more health slightly than attack. Some cards have more attack than health. A lot of cards have equals. It's kind of evenly split between all 3. So on to the rogue. Give your weapon +1 attack. Standard rogue, but it is in a creature form this time to give a +1 attack versus the deadly poison. Here's another pirate card. Whenever you summon a pirate card, summon a pirate gains stealth. So does this one gain stealth, or the one that's summoned gains stealth? Or the hero gains stealth? Not being explained quite well. Seems like this one gains stealth the way it's being explained. Has +2 attack when you have a mech. Alright, I can say strategy there. At the end of your turn, give other friendly mechs +2/+2. We've seen that one. Destroy a random enemy minion combo and your opponent's weapon. Combo, a bonus if you've already played a card this turn. So, it's pretty easy to play 2 cards in the turn. Just have to get the order right. Give your weapon +3, combo, give a random friendly minion attack +3. That's a lot to do for 4 mana. I think this one's balanced, I think this one's overpowered. Here we go, 5/6/6. It starts off with stealth, and it has 50% chance to attack wrong. Alright, let's see what this one is. Whenever your opponent casts a spell, gain a copy of it and give them a coin. That's new. No other card has ever given a coin. You only got the coin for being the second player, and that was it. I don't know how much you could really do with having another coin, particularly if you're past your 10th turn. And this would more than likely come out on at least the 6th turn. So, whenever your opponent casts a spell, gain a copy of it and give them the coin. So, basically what this card would do is give you a copy of your opponent's spells and then give them what is almost certainly a worthless coin. Alright. So we're into the Shaman. Another overload card here. Deal 3 to 6 damage, just random. Randomly picked, overload of 1. At the end of your turn, restore 4 health to the hero. I don't know if Shaman really needed this. I mean, there was already a card that restored 2 health to everybody. I think the hero included. Maybe it doesn't. Maybe the other one only does the minions. I'll have to look at it next time I play a Shaman. Wind Fury for 3/2/2/2. It's a little overpowered. Give a random friendly mech +2/+2. We've seen at least a couple of cards like this. Just giving mechs +2/+2 all around the world. Put a random minion from each player's hand into the battlefield. That could be some interesting play right there. You just really wouldn't know. I mean, you could really cheese this card because you could have like a 12 mana card in your deck, in your hand, and then play all your other cards so that the only minion in your hand is the 12 mana, and then you play that, and then your guy you're fighting will summon some weak thing more than likely. Wind Fury with an overload 1 and 50% chance to attack an enemy. You just got too much stuff going on here. You can have Wind Fury and overload and 50% chance to attack the thing 4/4. Seems kind of balanced, but that is an odd way to balance it out. Have it do 3 things at once. Whenever another friendly Murloc dies, draw a card. I'll say on a card like this, you don't want to go too far. You don't want a card that ever says Wind Fury, Divine Shield, Taunt, Overload, 50% chance to attack, spell damage +1. I don't care if it was like a 50 mana to summon it. That's too complicated a card for this game. You don't need super complicated cards. You want somewhat complicated, not super complicated. Alright. Add 4 random Murlocs to your hand, overload 3. This would probably be very good on a Murloc deck. I'm still not sold that playing a Murloc deck is a good deck. I haven't seen lots of people play Murloc decks, but these new cards might change that, make it a better play. Deal 3 damage for a Dark Bomb. Nothing special there. Whenever the minion deals damage, restore that much health to your hero. Interesting demon thing. Well, on the Warlock things, they do demon things. Deal 2 to 4 damage and summon a 1/1 imp for each damage dealt. That could be interesting. It's almost a little over mana cost. I'd almost say maybe a 3 there. At the end of your turn, deal 2 damage to a non-mech minion. Let's see. So that one's just deal 2 damage at the end of the turn, can't be mechs. That's fine, nothing too special. Deal 5 damage to a minion. If it is a demon though, give it +5/+5. That seems pretty overpowered for 5 mana. I mean, if you got a demon that's a 4 and then you make it a 9/9 for 5 more, that's pretty overpowered. Whenever your hero takes damage, +2/+2, that'll work really good on demon decks, because there are demons that when you summon them, they have a battle cry of doing damage to yourself. So you could hurt yourself. Plus you have the life tap ability, so every time you life tap, this guy's going up. This was a really well thought out card for the Warlock. At the end of the turn, destroy this minion if it's the only one. Interesting. Interesting card. It is super cheap for a 9/9. But it could be destroyed at any point as long as you can kill the other guys on his team. Alright. See. This guy, wow. Your other demons have +2/+2. That's fine for 9 mana and pretty high attack, 9/7. But this is just ridiculous. Your hero is immune. Immune means your hero cannot be damaged. That means 100%, as long as this guy's on the field, you cannot lose. Super OP, yeah. I mean, I don't want to get it super complicated and say this should be like a 12 mana, but to ever have a creature say your hero is immune forever, that's probably overpowered. This would have been a fine card without the hero's immune. Now it is super OP. If I'm playing Warlock, I definitely want this guy in my hand. I want to summon him, I want to give him Taunt, I want to give him Divine Shield. No, I don't want to give him Taunt, I want to give him Divine Shield. I want to summon a bunch of other taunts so nobody can attack him. I want to give him Stealth so he can't be doing that. You could protect this guy and keep yourself alive for a very long time. Alright, we're on the last character, then we'll go back to the neutral ones, which we've already seen. The Warrior. Warbot, Enrage, +1 attack. A 3 mana, 4/2 weapon, 50% chance to attack it. That feels kind of balanced. Yeah. I was going to say maybe a 3/2, but, you know, 3 mana to summon it. Half the time it's going to hit the wrong enemy. It only has 2 uses. Potentially, that means, on average, this is only going to hit your actual target once before it's used up. Deal 1 damage to a random minion, and then repeat until a minion dies. Wow. Wow. So, imagine a situation where you had 7 characters, and let's just say, for argument's sake, they were all 10/10s. For 3 mana, this guy could randomly bounce around doing 1 damage to all these guys, get them all down to 9 health, and then knock one of those guys down. So, you're talking potentially like 30 plus damage that you could do for 3 mana in that scenario. It probably would never be that scenario. It would probably be very quickly you'd hit the one guy that only has 2 health or 1 health a couple times, but you could see this go up pretty high in some situations. This could be a definite game changer. Battle cry, give a friendly mech +2/+2. Whenever you gain armor, give a minion +1 attack. Battle cry, shuffle a mine into your opponent's deck. When drawn, it explodes for 10 damage. That's new. That's like Yu-Gi-Oh craziness again. Put a mine item card that in the opponent's deck when they draw 10 damage. 10 damage is a massive amount of damage. There was a card in Yu-Gi-Oh! Just like that card. Battle cry, gain 5 armor, that's fine. That works well with the warrior. Crush, destroy a minion. If you have a damaged minion, this costs 4 less. So for 3 mana, if you have a damaged minion, you can destroy a minion. That's not too bad. It's an interesting speculation. And here we are, we're back to the neutral ones. So, as you can see, 16 pages, 8 new cards for each new hero, and then a bunch of neutral cards on the Goblins and Gnomes set alone. We've got lots of cards. When you look at comparison, there are 76 pages when you include all the soulbound cards. So when you take out the soulbound cards, it clears that up down to 33. And if we go to golden ones, it goes down to 19. And if you include the soulbound, it goes to 46. So that just shows you the filters and what you can expect. We've been in crafting mode for a long time. We played our emergency episode here of this. It's definitely wanting to push me into playing the arena more. Nothing seems new here. Let's go over here from the custom decks to the basic deck. These are the basic decks where you don't pick any cards at all. Very quickly, you're going to want to think about getting custom decks. Probably do what I did, just Google good starter custom decks for Hearthstone. This will be the only episode where I ever correct myself saying that, so enjoy it. You're going to want to Google good starter decks for each creatures and make some custom decks. We will eventually come back to rebuild all my custom decks. When that will be after the expansion. I want to get some of these gnome cards. As you heard me say, a lot of these cards feel super overpowered. Super overpowered. Alright, so here we have a danger. This is new. I was just going to come in here and double check to see if this was what they were going to do. They were going to give you a classic decks, classic packs of cards, and then come out with Gnomes and Goblins packs and cards. And the indication here now, this turns my mood a little down. If they come out with Gnomes and Goblins decks, I don't know what to do. I could buy 10 decks of Gnomes and Goblins with my money when it comes out. Here in the Nexramas expansion, it's not giving any indication that there's going to be that. That hasn't changed. So, but this has changed. So very well, there could be, when it officially launches, a different type of deck. If that's how they want to play it, I guess we'll do one arena run and see once it's locked out whether you have a chance. I'll Google and see if you have a chance of getting a new deck if a new deck does come out. All this almost guarantees it. Best for new players, classic decks. So maybe that's how they're going to do it. If we cannot in the arena win anything but classic decks when it comes out, well, I have 1,000 gold. It costs 100 to get it. See, when you click here, you can put up to 50 here and just get a stack. And that is a big stack. That would cost me 5,000 to get 50 packs. So let's be more realistic. Let's buy a stack of 10. Well, we're not buying anything at the moment. If that's how we have to do it, we will buy a stack of the new Gnomes and Goblins things to get us quickly into the game. Those cards are super powerful. Hopefully that wouldn't bite me in the butt, but I've gotten that much. I will do one arena once it's out at the very beginning. I will not ever be spending money, ever. Not even gonna even hint and suggest that people funding that. Like, I'm not even gonna hint and suggest that people send me $3 so I can buy 2 packs. No. I don't even want you to spend that kind of money on me. It could be better spent other ways, I'm sure. Anyways, thanks for watching this emergency recording. Sorry it came out late. That's just when I found it. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope this gets you excited for Gnomes and Goblins. Anyways, like, share, and subscribe. Thank you again, and good night.